Let's get this thing going. Hello, hello, hello. It says I'm alive. It looks like I'm alive. I feel alive. I'm alive. All right, people. Well, welcome aboard, everybody, to the Wednesday edition of the Mike's Ask Mike Anything live stream. I'm Mike Meyers, popular author. Now, you may have noticed we're a little bit closer, a little bit of a close-up today. And the reason we have a close-up today, guys, is because I have failed you. I cannot get OpenSense to run. I cannot get the latest version of OpenSense software firewall to even install in this latest version of VMware. And I'd love to tell you I've spent the last 2 days doing nothing but working on OpenSense. I have put a lot of time into OpenSense. I want this to work. It's a product that I know. It's easy to use. It makes sense. And I can't even get it to install. Now, let me qualify that. I can most certainly get it to install on other systems with older versions of VirtualBox. But I can't get them. I can't actually get the OpenSense to install within the virtual machine. And I can't find any substantial documentation. I'll find it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have it running now. I do have one demo version running. However, I don't want to do this and have it not work. Is that fair? So I'm going to go ahead and we are not going to do virtualization today. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but we changed the topic today to open topic. I knew last night that I was not going to be ready, but we will definitely be ready by next Monday, guaranteed. And I assure you it will be a fun and exciting product. So today is just an open day. Hey, Al Mulford. Hey, how's it going, brother? I haven't seen you for a while. So this is probably going to be a short one today, and that's fine. Never have a problem with a short one when they pop up like this. But it's going to be pretty interesting. So, side little piece of information. CyberNow Labs is now going to be doing a standalone Security Plus course live. They're basically taking the first 8 weeks of the CyberNow Labs program and turning it into just Security Plus for people who are interested in taking Security Plus. So I think that's kind of exciting. It's only going to be $500 for an 8-week course. Are they going to give you a sales pitch for the CyberNow Labs course? Of course. But it seems to be a pretty exciting deal. I can't find anybody who's price-wise even close to that. So, the bottom line is for a lot of us folks who really do want some instructor-led, you have that regimen, as it were, of having somebody really working with you and, having the instructor and having the assignments. It's an amazing opportunity, and I can't recommend it enough for those who are looking to push past through that Security Plus. Yeah, Al, what are you doing, man? Al Mulford, just so you guys know, is married to my big sister, Robin. So he sneaks in. Oh, and Al, Al, that Dave Rush is a pilot, right? And Dave, who else is a pilot who gets on here all the time? These are commercial pilots. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to start here. We're only going to run, this will probably only be about a 20-minute session today, just because Will Shaw, that's the other person. Yeah, Dave, Al, you should be hanging out, just talk about all this pilot stuff. But anyway, so this is open source, so I'll be answering questions. Manchester, England. Goodness sakes, Nigel. Nigel, the whole idea that we're doing these evening courses was more for the Americans, and it surprises me how many Europeans. So if it's 7 o'clock here, it's 7 hours. Good God, Nigel, is it 2 o'clock in the morning? No, it's 5 hours. It's midnight in England right now. Certainly in Manchester. All right, anyway, so Nigel, let me answer some of your questions here for you. I would like to ask, when would you advise a newbie should start to decide what their main interest is? At birth, Nigel. I mean, hopefully you should already be getting some ideas of ideas and thoughts and stuff that you might like to do. And also keep in mind, whatever you choose, Nigel, you're probably going to be wrong, or you're going to change your mind relatively soon. So it's not like, choose ye this day who ye shall serve. Your opinions change, your career changes, you know. So it's not critical, is all I'm trying to say. But you're constantly making changes. I'm torn between internet and network engineering and cybersecurity type roles. Should I push through into network and security plus and decide from there? Any advice for starting out? Nigel, follow your passions, man. At this point in the game, it's not critical. What's critical for me, Nigel, is that you're working. Hey, Maven, good to see you, man. But yeah, enjoy, have fun. That's the most important thing I can tell you, Nigel. You know, knock that A plus out, knock that net plus out. Hopefully, knock out that security plus. And from there, I don't know why I'm yawning. I haven't yawned once all day. The moment I get here in front of the camera, but I will tell you, man, one of the things that we might end up doing, moving back to virtual machines for a minute, is I'm probably going to start structuring out some more formalized labs. The reason I can do this is I have real strict control on operating system, hypervisor, that kind of stuff. And, you know, with that kind of level of control, I'm actually excited about the possibility of maybe generating some really, really tight labs. And guys, these first few labs we're going to do are going to be boring. I want to be able to run ipconfig and ping, like put two Windows systems in their own virtual network. You know, people are like, oh, I want to do all these crazy commands. I'm going to tell you, 95% of all network problems can be fixed with ipconfig and ping. That's it. That's like the number 2 screwdriver and flathead screwdriver of the industry. And people are always looking for interesting and unique, you know, we got to run netstats and, you know, dig and all these other commands, which are all important commands and they have their place. But I'm more interested in getting networks fixed. Isn't that surprising? People always go like, well, Mike, that seems crazy to me. You know, we should have, you know, should be much more complicated than that. Nah, it's pretty easy. One of the things, oh, it's 1 o'clock. Yeah, Nigel, God bless you. So one of the things that always challenges me when I'm teaching people about technology is like the first time they configure up a network where they really have it connected to the internet. It's the first time they have a home router. They probably put a switch in there. They probably got a couple of cameras with port forwarding, you know, just some basic stuff. And they get all excited that they got it working and they want to tell me about it. And they're like, oh, Mike, so I got this. We had the DHCP server. I got the DHCP address range from here to there. And I did this. You know, we used 192.1c. And it's like, da-da. And the end result of all this hard work is actually very boring because the end result is Google works. You know, I mean, you get your email. It's a well-working system is dull. So there's an analogy I've been using for a while now. And it's like, have you ever had someone come into your home and fix an appliance? And so I use I have this refrigerator and the ice machine broke. I couldn't get any ice. It wouldn't make ice. So I call the appliance repairman and he comes in and now I've got ice. But did that appliance repairman sit there and go, okay, so what I did is I cleaned out the 3/4 inch digitally valve and reran the new tubing. You know, I blew it out, gave it a good, you know, nitrogen purge. We sat there, we redesigned the configuration on the water and down some temperature. Nah, because I don't care. All I want is ice. I just want ice. Ice. And it's what I have to teach people when they first start working on networks. It's like, nobody cares what you're doing. I mean, we care because, you know, we're nerds. But for the most part, nobody cares. They just want to see Google. As long as Google's working, everybody else is a happy camper. So it should be interesting to see what kind of labs we can start develop on this. Daylight savings, do they switch in the UK? No, Maven, the UK is too small, so they don't get daylight savings. I'm kidding. It did surprise me that I found out that England, not the UK, but England is about the size of the state of Illinois. How did that little island do all that? Well, you've got to throw in Wales and Scotland too, right? All right. Antoids. Antoids? I'm trying to call you Altoids. Hi, Mike. I wanted to thank you for your lessons, as last year I got my Security Plus. Excellent. And your first IT position. Big round of applause to you. Antoids. I got it. And why isn't that Altoids? I want to make it Altoids so bad. Anyway, big round of applause to you. Congratulations. Get to work, because that's the most important thing. And you're looking towards Linux Plus. Recommendations on study resources for Linux Plus. I had pressure for a long time to write a Linux Plus book, and I just didn't want to. Writing books is hard, folks. It's a real pain in the rear end, And I don't like writing books. I've never liked writing books. I got 11 editions on the A+, and 10 on the Network Plus, and 6 on the Security Plus. I hate writing books. But the only thing worse than writing books is not writing books, because I always have something I want to say. I do not have any good recommendations for Linux Plus resources right now. Scott S. I do like the idea of these live Q&As showing how to set up multiple VMs and having them interact. All I've done is get one VM running and play around with it. Well, Scott, you should go back from the previous week. Remember, because we were talking about, in particular, if you want to follow along on the stuff that's going to be coming up starting next Monday, please make sure you have VirtualBox installed. You can do these labs without VirtualBox. You can use Hyper-V. You can use VMware Player, but I don't have all the tools in front of me to tell you how to do it. And, the little tweaks and quirks, even if it means delaying my video so I can't do it today, I'll have them worked out. So go ahead and do yourself a favor. Install VirtualBox now, okay? And then download a copy of, whatever you want. Ubuntu Linux or something like that. Make a couple of virtual machines. And then more importantly, make sure you understand the difference between bridged, DHCP, NAT, private, all these different types of network types that you see in VirtualBox. Pretty much all Type 2 hypervisors provide this. But remember, what we're doing here, the whole goal behind this is I want to do some interesting network labs without having a physical network. That's a big part of what we're going to be doing here. So do keep that in mind. So if you can have that up and running ahead of time, that wouldn't be a bad thing. I would tell people to download OpenSense, but it's... I'm a little frustrated when I physically strike the computer. That poor inanimate object. I have struck it because it won't. Well, I think I got it working now. I've got a copy installed a couple hours ago, and I just had to do other things, so I didn't get to round to it. And we'd already changed the thing for today. But so I assure you we'll be fine next Monday. No questions asked. Yeah, Nigel, you guys switched last week. So did we. Oh, can I say as an Englishman, I visited family in Mineral Wells, Texas, and came into the Big D, Dallas. I drive from Dallas to Houston, which on the map, it's 2.5 hours, Dud. I've done it. Nigel, we got a saying down here. The sun is riz, the sun is set, and we ain't out of Texas yet. It's a big, big place. And Nigel, next time you come into Houston, you better stop and say hello. Oh, Nigel, this is fairly recent. You were at Buc-ee's. So for those of you who don't know what Buc-ee's is quickly replacing Disney World as the happiest place on earth. It's a chain of truck/car stops. And they have like super clean bathrooms, and there's this beaver motif, Buc-ee's the beaver, and big Texas-sized drinks and Texas-sized everything and fudge, and it's great stuff. Day Rush, we have a really cool Q&A program coming up the short term on the Total Seminars. Oh yeah, so Dave, we are, do keep in mind, guys, that under the auspices of Dave Rush's Great Control, we're going to be moving the Discord server up to a whole new level. We're going to bring in some marketing money and really start to do that. If you have not yet joined us on Discord, you might want to be doing that sooner than later. I definitely see the AMAs kind of disappearing, and that most of the Q&A stuff will be on the Discord platform. And then we're going to be using YouTube exclusively for instructional type things. So that should be the idea. We'll see what happens. Coolery McCoolson. Wow, how's that for a great name? Mike, I've been running a Synology 512 NAS without issue for 11 years. Is it time to replace it with a 522 Plus? Cooley, man, when it comes to hardware, you know, you've got the two big issues. There's number one is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Probably, I don't remember the Synology 512 NAS right off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that 512, oh, I can look it up real quick. I think your big thing is going to be throughput. Oh, that's the 522. I don't know. So I'm looking at the 512 Plus, expandable, 60 terabytes. That's it? Seems small. All right, let's take a quick look at the 522. I can't quickly see what the difference is. Physically, they look to be very, very similar. But 9 times out of 10, the differences on these things are going to be bandwidth. You know, they're going to be running a faster version of SATA, you know, maybe not SATA, but, you know, well, it wouldn't be NVMe, would it, kids? Don't know right off the top of my head. One more question. This is from Altoids. I had was, are there non-CompTIA certs you think I should pursue if I'm interested in ethical hacking and hardware security? Yes. That's a tricky question. I'd be looking at the SANS GIAC cert possibly. See, you're saying ethical hacking and hardware security. Those are very, very different things. So for ethical hacking, right now, gosh, Pentest Plus does a pretty good job. CompTIA's Pentest Plus, it's like 1/3 the price of the old certified ethical hacker exam, and I like it. On the hardware security, there are no hardware security certifications that I know of off the top of my head. Dave is saying that it's more than just bandwidth, that there's a Atom processor in the old systems. All right. Okay, well, guys, like I said, we're going to cut a little bit short today. I'm going to have to get back into the ugliness of getting OpenSense properly configured. I'm also trying to find a prettier front end for it, which isn't critical, but a lot of times I just think it makes life easier when you do stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and head out a little on the early side today. We will be back on Monday, and keep watching, folks. As we get the Discord server up and cooking and we start putting some marketing money into that, we're definitely going to be moving things in that direction. We've even talked about doing live streaming out of Discord and dumping YouTube. We'll keep YouTube for the presentation type stuff like the virtual machines or like we were doing before with VLANs. But this live stuff is probably going to be moving exclusively over to Discord, and that would be like a once a week thing. That still to be determined. All right, guys, let me see. Are there any last second questions come in? All right, guys, do keep in mind we got lots of great offers as we all always have there. So don't forget our 50% off deal. And also our next CNL info session is going to be Tuesday, April 4th. That's next week. Do check that out. And I am out of here, folks. You have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday. Be ready. Be ready. I assure you, I'll have everything up and cooking. And we're going to have one of the more interesting sessions come this Monday, 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Al Mulford, you should show up. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys, I'm out the door. This is your little Uncle Mikey saying bye-bye. Bye, kids.